Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2020 mid-month general readings. We're looking at the last 2 weeks of November, and this reading is for the earth sign of Capricorn. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all safe and well. For those of you who are celebrating November this month, I hope you have a safe and great holiday. Thanks for taking the time to tune into this video, and for all that you do in support of this channel. Hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, your support, donations, feedback, comments, it's all welcome and appreciated. Thank you so much. So this reading is for the earth sign of Capricorn for the last 2 weeks of November 2020. That's Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you're cross-watching for a Capricorn, it's all relevant, but of course will resonate a little differently for everyone, being a general reading. If you find that any of these readings resonate with you, although I suggest you watch your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus just to get additional insight. But if any of the videos resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading, you can click on the description link below, which will pull down some contact details. You'll see my email address there. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond the same day with more information. And setting up personal readings is done in as timely a fashion as possible. I do readings full time. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent at scheduling, getting those readings set up as quickly as possible. So email me if you're interested. As we head into the holiday gift-giving season, personal readings also make great gifts for friends, family, and loved ones, so keep that in mind. And also popular at this time of the year are the overviews I do. I offer 6-month and 12-month overviews, depending on how far ahead you want to look. They all cost the same. So, but it gives you a look 6 or 12 months ahead at what's kind of coming in a variety of different areas of your life. And a lot of people like to order those as we head towards the end of one year and the beginning of a new year, hopefully a better year considering 2020. So something to keep in mind. Okay, Capricorn, let's move right into this reading and see what the last 2 weeks of November have in store for you. I am using a new deck of cards this time. It's called the Tarot of Dreams. This is what the box looks like. Really gorgeous artwork, even on the back standards of the cards, although they're a little bigger than I'm used to. So I'm adjusting to shuffling. Okay, Capricorn. November mid-month for Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, we begin with she's in reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Yikes. Followed by the Nine of Wands. The Magician, followed by the Ace of Wands, the Six of Swords, followed by Death, and from the bottom of the deck, overall energy or focus for the last half of November is the Devil. Well, Capricorn, you know, the devil in some instances can be positive, or at least not terribly negative, but that's not really the case here that I'm seeing. The devil usually represents a toxic, negative, out of balance cycle, which is why it often comes up for different types of addictions: alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, shopping, even working, obsessive relationships, power control issues, mental health issues. The devil at its base represents being enslaved or chained to something, so being caught in kind of a negative cycle, which is the nature of any kind of addiction anyway. It's obsessive energy. It's too much energy in one area to the detriment of others. Something, it can represent, some bad habits, really bad habits, or something that we keep returning to over and over again in a way that is unhealthy for us. Even if the thing itself is not unhealthy, it's doing it to an obsessive degree to where it becomes unhealthy. And it looks like for many of you there is a relationship central here. Because we have a person, and I feel like it's an actual person, individual for you, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse, which is a heck of a person to be in the reverse. In the upright position, the Queen of Wands is governed by the element of fire, so this is the Queen of Fire. In the upright position, she is beautiful, kind of a warrior. You know, she's confident, assertive, aggressive sometimes when she needs to be, somebody who's very on top of her fire energy game. She's grown and developed and matured beyond the page and the night energy, and she knows how to use all that beautiful passion and enthusiasm and excitement and creativity and inspiration to manifest things. She's a go-getter. This is somebody who's a good leader, charismatic, a good delegator. In the reverse position, this can be any of the court cards in reverse can be difficult. But the Queen of Wands could be somebody who has a temper issue, who's aggressive in a negative way, somebody who is vindictive, somebody who gets angry or feels like somebody slighted her or him, and wants revenge, and who's very aggressive and blatant about it as well. And what accompanies her, clarifies her, is the Nine of Wands, which is the Nine of Wands tends to represent cycle completion, something coming full circle to an end. The Nine of Wands represents being close to something being done and feeling, like you're not sure if you really want to go that last extra mile. The Nine of Wands in other decks has been known as like the Wounded Warrior card. It can represent the dark night of the soul. This represents having been through quite a number of battles or challenges already. There's something else yet again in front of you, and even though you're close to being to the end, you may be feeling discouraged, like giving up. Do I have what it takes to kind of push through this? Sometimes the Nine of Wands represents just, buckling down, putting your head down, continuing to put one foot in front of the other until you finish this cycle. But it doesn't look like that might be a good idea here. I mean, it looks like this situation or relationship, regardless of the nature of it, is toxic in nature. And the Devil represents negative cycles, so it's likely that this has been going on for quite some time. Now, being a general reading and not a specific personal reading, the nature of the relationship or your connection with this Queen of Wands in reverse is going to vary. Some of you, it might be a love relationship. Some of you, it might be a family member, a friend, a work colleague, something like that. But this is just, feels like, man, this has just like gone on long enough. We keep going back around the same thing. Do I really want to continue here? Because it looks like you don't, most of you. In the middle here, we have the Magician clarified by the Ace of Wands. The Magician is the manifester. He's learned on his long road through trial and error, success, failure, triumph, defeat, but he's gotten to a place where he now has control over all of the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and he knows how to use them and combine them with hard work to manifest something into reality. And this card showing up in the upright position represents that you have everything that you need in order to manifest whatever it is that you want. The Magician represents success that comes from hard work and talent combined. And it's clarified with the Ace of Wands. Aces represent the number one, so a new start, beginning of a new path, a new opportunity full of excitement and enthusiasm, perhaps creativity, inspiration. It's like, I want to get away from whatever this is and into something else, something new. And then we have the Six of Swords, clarified by Death. So the Six of Swords is a card of healing, slow, steady healing. It's a card that represents moving away from the challenge. You can see that the water that this person is moving into is calm, placid, serene. The water they've come out of is choppy, turbulent. So this is a card about moving away, sometimes physically moving away, from the source of the challenge or pain or chaos or whatever it is. Even though you may still feel sad, I mean, swords represent mental energy, so you may be carrying all this with you. Hopefully not in a negative sense. Hopefully you can drop some of these during the healing process. You're not quite to the other shore and on solid ground yet, but you're on your way. You're in motion. It's a transitional card. And what's that about? The clarifying card is death and ending. Death represents a final ending, a clearing out of something once and for all. Why do we clear out ground? So that we can nurture it and sow beautiful things in it to grow something new. So death represents a final ending of something so that there can be transformation, because beginnings follow endings, birth follows death. In every ending, as they say, there are the seeds for a new beginning, and that's what this is about, healing, moving away from it all. I mean, this is a pretty clear reading, even though it may be a bit of a challenging reading, especially during the holiday season. There's never a good time for stress and feeling burdened with something and having to go through endings and moving into a healing process. But heading into the holiday seasons, it's not great either. So my heart goes out to those of you for whom this resonates. But in the end, and we're only looking at a 2-week period of time, and the Six of Swords and death is showing up, towards the end of November, although in general readings, timing is always a bit fluid. So there's healing at the end of this. And I feel like for most of you, you just make the decision, I want to manifest something new. I want to feel like I'm at the beginning of something which holds a lot of potential, because this, we've got the Devil and the Nine of Wands here. You're not interested in carrying through this cycle anymore. It's too much. And it feels like the majority of you that are moving away from this, you're absolutely doing the right thing. Let's pull a few clarifying cards anyway. Let's clarify the Devil. I mean, what the Devil is, it can be a variety of things. It's just like the relationship with the Queen of Wands. It's a general reading, so it's going to mean different things, but let's see if we can break it down just a little bit further. Clarify the Devil. I'm using a different deck to clarify with, as I typically do. This is Legacy of the Divine Tarot. Clarify the Devil. The Seven of Wands. Unrealistic optimism, idealism is what it means here. The Seven of Cups, not the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Cups is the Seven of Water. It's a very dreamy energy. This is a card about envisioning the best and most perfect, beautiful potential of what something could be, which is a beautiful card in and of itself. We all need to have our dreams, but you need to choose which one is realistic and then do the work towards manifesting that. The Seven of Cups is a card that can represent kind of, building castles in the sky, daydreaming, and when you envision what something can be, it's always the best, most possible thing, ignoring any challenges which might be in the way, which may be part of this cycle. The cycle for you might be every time this crashes and burns, something happens which makes you, or somebody says something to you, yeah, it's going to be, we'll get through this, it's going to be, and when we do, it's going to be this wonderful thing, but that cycle just keeps repeating over and over and over again. And you find yourself in this kind of unrealistic place because you don't maybe want to deal with working through it, or you don't want to deal with what the other option is, which is to just cut yourself off and leave it behind. But it feels like you're going to be doing that this time. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands in reverse. It's just very kind of nasty sort of energy here. The Page of Swords in reverse. Yikes. So the Page of Swords in the upright position is the Page of Air. Pages are often messengers. So the Page of Swords just brings information, communication. This is somebody, verbal conversation, communication. In the reverse position, clarifying a person who's already in the reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse. The Page of Swords in reverse is also her energy. This is nasty words, nasty speaking, vindictiveness. It's just, this is somebody whose emotions and anger drive them to be verbally abusive. This is, it's truly unpleasant energy. I think you're well suited to be away from this, Capricorn. Or at least create enough time and distance to give them room to think about things, you know. Let's just clarify one more. Let's clarify death. What's the energy driving death? Six of Swords, death. The Eight of Swords, feeling trapped by ideas, concepts, ideologies, words, conversations. But it's somewhat inaccurate. It's not that the source of what makes you feel trapped or has made you feel trapped in this negative cycle. This is a great card to actually accompany the devil, because the devil is about being caught in this negative toxic cycle, and the Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped and bound by what these swords represent, which again in a general reading could be one ideology or a bunch of ideas. For example, I can't leave this marriage because I'm not stable financially. I can't leave this abusive place of work because I need the money and maybe I wouldn't find another job. I can't break out of this because, whatever, fill in the blank, right? But remember, swords are mental energy, so it's kind of like allowing yourself to be stuck in a situation because of what your fears are. And this is what's ending, which is actually quite lovely. I like to see, after such toxic energy, this Six of Swords, you're healing, you're moving away from this. Yep, you might have some scars and you're not quite to the other shore yet, but you're definitely moving towards that, into something better. And I'm really happy to see this, Capricorn, for those of you for whom this resonates. This looks like a very challenging cycle that you've been caught in. But it looks like you are by far best served by just moving away from it and cutting the ties and creating at least some distance and space for at least a considerable period of time in order to achieve your own healing. So Capricorn, that is your reading for the last half of November. Again, like some of the more challenging readings, I'm not going to say I hope you enjoyed this reading, because this was definitely not a unicorns and rainbows reading. But it does look like you do the smart and the best thing for yourself in the end, which is what Spirit always supports. So I hope in that sense that it was helpful for you. Again, if you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for friends, family, or loved ones, just click on the description link below. Email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the December general readings. Until then, stay safe, stay well, be blessed, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.